I never expected my life to shatter in a single moment. Growing up, my mom was my biggest supporter. She always told me I was special, that I deserved the best. But somehow, at some point, that love twisted into something else, something dark. And I only realized it when I overheard that conversation. It was late, past midnight. I had just finished some work in my study when I heard my mother's voice drifting from the living room. At first, I thought she was on the phone, but then I heard my wife respond. "How was your date, dear?" my mom asked, her tone light, almost teasing. "Is he a better lover than my loser son?" I froze. The words didn't register at first. They couldn't. Then my wife's voice, soft, breathless, happy. "Yes, Mom," she said, "and I can't thank you enough for setting us up." I felt my stomach drop. My hands clenched into fists, nails digging into my palms. I wanted to storm into the room and demand answers, but something held me back. Maybe it was shock. Maybe it was self-preservation. Instead, I stepped back into the shadows and listened, heart pounding in my chest. They kept talking about their little secret, about how long it had been going on. My own mother, the woman who raised me, had set my wife up with another man, encouraged it, approved of it. And my wife, she was grateful. I don't remember much after that. My vision blurred with rage, my ears ringing with the sound of their betrayal. Somehow I made it back to our bedroom, shutting the door silently behind me. I had to leave. I had no plan, no direction, just an overwhelming need to get out before I did something I'd regret. But I wasn't going to walk away empty-handed. They were going to pay for this. So before I packed my bags, I set a trap. A part of me didn't even care what happened after that. I just needed to be gone. So I slipped out, silent as a ghost, and disappeared into the night, leaving everything behind. For 6 months, I heard nothing. I didn't check in, didn't call, didn't look back. I built a new life, one where they didn't exist. Until the day my mother called. And when I answered, her voice was filled with venom. "How could you do that to her, you bastard?" I was shocked to the core. What had happened? Had the trap worked? I had no idea. But whatever it was, karma had hit hard, and I was finally ready to see the damage. I was never the kind of guy who made enemies. I worked hard, kept my head down, and believed in doing right by the people I loved. Maybe that's why this betrayal cut so deep, because I had never once imagined the people closest to me would be the ones to put the knife in my back. I met Lisa in college. She was the kind of woman who turned heads without trying, sharp wit, easy smile, a confidence that made you feel like she had life figured out. I wasn't her type, not at first. She dated jocks, guys who lived fast and burned bright. I was quieter, the guy who fixed his friends' computers and pulled all-nighters for exams. But somehow I wore her down, or at least that's what I thought. Looking back, I wonder if she ever really loved me, or if I was just the safe bet. We got married at 25, had 2 kids by the time we were 30. Life wasn't easy, but I worked my yuckies off to make sure my family never went without. I built a small IT consulting business from the ground up, taking late-night calls, traveling to clients, spending hours troubleshooting problems that weren't mine. I did it all for them, for her, and for my mother. My mom. God, where do I even start? She was the kind of woman who acted like a saint in public, but behind closed doors, she was something else entirely. She had this way of making me feel like I was never enough, never smart enough, never successful enough, never good enough. She compared me to other men, told me I was lucky Lisa married me, warned me that if I didn't keep her happy, someone else would. Maybe that's why I spent so much time trying to prove myself, trying to be the perfect husband, the perfect father, the perfect son. And the whole time they were laughing at me behind my back. When my mother called, I almost didn't answer. But something inside me told me to pick up. Her voice was dripping with rage. "How could you do that to her, you bastard?" I blinked. "What?" "Lisa, you sick fuck. She's in the hospital because of you." For a moment, I couldn't even process what she was saying. Lisa, the hospital, Because of me? I hadn't spoken to her in 6 months. I had cut her out of my life like a tumor. And then it hit me. The trap. I swallowed, trying to keep my voice steady. What happened? You think this is funny? You think this is some kind of joke? My mother's voice was shrill, almost hysterical. That little stunt you pulled, she could have died. I felt my stomach turn. Tell me what happened. Silence. Then a deep breath, and finally, she and that man of hers. My mother spat the words like they burned her tongue. They were in bed when it happened, and now she's hurt because of you. A slow, cold dread settled in my chest. My trap had worked. I didn't know the details yet, but I had left something behind that night. Something subtle, something that would only be discovered when she least expected it. And now, 6 months later, it had gone off. I clenched my jaw, and I waited. Because whatever had happened, it was only the beginning. I never considered Lisa a cruel person. Selfish? Maybe, but cruel. I used to believe she loved me once, maybe in some small way. But after hearing her whisper those words to my mother that night, I wasn't so sure anymore. Why did she do this? That question haunted me, and as I stood there gripping the phone, listening to my mother scream at me about Lisa's injuries, I realized I needed answers. I needed to know why my wife and my own mother had conspired against me. Lisa was always the type to chase excitement. She grew up in a small town, the daughter of a quiet, stay-at-home mom and a father who worked himself into an early grave. When she moved to the city for college, it was like she had been let off a leash. Suddenly, she was going to parties, meeting powerful men, living the kind of life she had only seen in movies. And then she met me, a safe choice, a man with ambition, stability, and enough naivety to believe she had finally settled down. I see it clearly now. She loved the idea of me. The hard-working husband, the father of her children, the man who paid the mortgage while she worked part-time and spent afternoons with her friends. But deep down, she still craved something else, something riskier, someone my mother was all too eager to provide. I flew back home the next day. I didn't call ahead. I didn't tell anyone I was coming. If they thought I had disappeared forever, they were wrong. When I arrived at the hospital, my mother was waiting in the lobby, her face twisted with disgust the moment she saw me. "You have some nerve showing up here," she hissed. I ignored her and walked straight to the front desk. "I'm here to see Lisa," I said. The nurse hesitated. "Are you family?" I let the word settle in my mind for a second before shaking my head. "Number. But I'm the reason she's here." The nurse frowned, then looked at my mother. "She's in recovery. Only immediate family is allowed." My mother folded her arms and smirked, thinking she had won. But then, to my surprise, another voice called out, "Let him in." I turned. Lisa. She was in a wheelchair, her left arm in a cast, bandages wrapped around her head. She looked like hell. And yet, even through the bruises, I saw something in her eyes I hadn't seen in years. Fear. I sat across from her in the hospital room. The heart monitor beeped steadily beside her, filling the silence between us. She spoke first. "What did you do to me?" I leaned back in my chair, exhaling slowly. "You tell me." Her lips tightened. She thought she was invincible. That's why she did it. She had spent years listening to my mother belittle me, tell her she deserved better. My mother, the woman who should have protected me, had hand-delivered her an affair, encouraging her to find someone worthy. And Lisa? She went along with it because she thought I'd never fight back. She thought I'd be too weak, too broken, too pathetic to ever stand up for myself. But I did. 6 months ago, when I left, I set a trap. Nothing violent, nothing illegal, just something designed to expose her for exactly what she was. A fake lottery ticket placed under her pillow, a small note typed anonymously slipped into her purse, a single business card belonging to a divorce attorney left in her car. Little things, psychological warfare. And then the final touch, I had rigged our old bedroom just right. A weakened bed frame, a loose ceiling panel, a hidden camera set to record only when it detected movement. So when Lisa and her lover finally got comfortable, when they thought they had gotten away with everything, the universe had other plans. The bed collapsed, the ceiling cracked, the camera caught everything, and the footage? I made sure it was sent everywhere. Her work, her family, our kids. By the time Lisa woke up in the hospital, she had nothing left. No job, no home, no lover, no reputation. And now she was looking at me like she had just realized something for the first time. I wasn't weak, I wasn't broken, I wasn't pathetic. I was her reckoning. "Why?" she whispered, eyes glistening with tears. I stood up and leaned in close. "So you'd finally know what it feels like," I said. She reached for my hand. I pulled away, and then I walked out, leaving her with exactly what she had given me. Nothing. Lisa used to think she was untouchable. She had my mother on her side, a new man in her bed, and my money keeping her comfortable. In her mind, I was just the clueless husband, someone she had outgrown, someone too weak to do anything about what she had done. She thought I would disappear. But she forgot one thing. A man with nothing left to lose is the most dangerous kind of man, and I was about to prove it. The day after I left the hospital, I put my plan into motion. I had spent months preparing for this moment, using the time wisely while she thought I was gone for good. Lisa had taken everything from me. Now I was going to return the favor. Step 1, money talks. Lisa never cared about finances. She let me handle the bills, the taxes, the savings. All she knew was that I always made sure the credit cards worked and that our lifestyle never changed. Big mistake. Because when I left, I didn't just walk away. I took control of everything. Every joint account, drained, every credit card, canceled, every asset with my name on it, frozen. And the house? Oh, that was my favorite part. It had always been in my name. Lisa never paid a single mortgage bill, never even checked the paperwork. So when I quietly sold it from under her while she was busy with her affair, she had no idea, until she got discharged from the hospital and found out she was homeless. Step 2, public execution. Lisa and her affair partner, some mid-level finance guy named Eric, were big on appearances. They loved looking like the perfect couple, the ones everyone envied. So I made sure everyone saw the truth. Remember the hidden camera? Yeah, that footage didn't just go to her family and workplace. I uploaded it to every social media platform she used. I didn't post it under my name, of course. I wasn't stupid, but I made sure it spread. It went viral. The title: Wife Cheats on Husband with His Mother's Help. Thousands of comments, hundreds of shares. People ripped her apart. Her perfect image? Destroyed. Her job fired her within 24 hours. Her friends ghosted her. Her own parents refused to let her stay with them. She had nowhere to go. She begged my mother for help. And my mother, oh, my sweet, manipulative, backstabbing mother, did exactly what I expected her to do. She threw Lisa under the bus. "This is all your fault," she told her. "If you had just been a better wife, he wouldn't have left." Lisa was stunned, betrayed, and for the first time she felt exactly how I had felt 6 months ago. Step 3, the final blow. I could have stopped there. I could have walked away, knowing I had already taken everything from her. But Lisa wasn't just any cheater. She was a woman who let my own mother destroy me, and for that I had one last punishment in store. She still had one thing left: Eric, her affair partner. Or so she thought. Because what Lisa didn't know was that Eric had another girlfriend, and that girlfriend. She and I had been talking. She had no idea about Lisa until I told her, and when she found out, she was more than happy to help set a trap. So one night, Lisa went to meet Eric at a restaurant, probably hoping to convince him to let her move in. But when she got there, she found me sitting across from his girlfriend instead. And the look on Lisa's face when she realized what was happening? Priceless. Eric walked in moments later, saw us, and panicked. His girlfriend pulled out her phone, showing him screenshots of his texts to Lisa. I simply smiled. "Looks like you two deserve each other," I said, standing up. "Oh, wait, you don't." Then I left them there, watching their lives collapse in real time. Epilogue. Karma's a bee. Lisa tried to rebuild her life after that. She got a minimum wage job, lived in a tiny apartment, lost all the privileges she had once taken for granted. As for my mother, she called me a few weeks later, trying to make amends. "I didn't mean for things to go this far," she said. I laughed. "You're only sorry because it backfired." Then I hung up, and I never spoke to her again. Lisa thought she had won. She thought she had beaten me. But in the end, she lost everything. And me? I walked away free. 6 months after my revenge unfolded, I felt something I hadn't in a long, long time. Peace. Lisa was gone from my life. My mother, dead to me. Everything they had tried to take from me, my dignity, my future, my peace of mind, I had taken back. And then some. But there was still one last thing I had to do. Bury the past for good. One evening I drove past our old house, the place Lisa used to call our home. Only it wasn't hers anymore. The new owners had moved in a while ago. The porch lights were on and I could see a family inside, 2 kids playing on the floor, a couple cooking dinner together. It was strange. That house had been my prison once, a place where I lived under the illusion of love while my wife and mother plotted behind my back. Now it was just a house. Now it was just a house, and I was just a man passing by, no longer burdened by its memories. I took a deep breath, and I let it go. What happened to Lisa? Last I heard, she had moved out of state. She tried to restart her life, but that video, it never went away. Every job interview, every social circle, every potential new relationship. People always found out some things never leave the internet, and Lisa was one of them. She wasn't just a cheater anymore, she was the cheater. The woman who plotted with her husband's own mother to betray him. A viral cautionary tale. She had become a ghost of her former self, jumping from job to job, struggling to keep friends, desperately trying to rewrite her past. But the thing about karma, it doesn't care how much you beg. And my mother. She tried to reach out a few times, left voicemails, sent emails, even had one of my cousins message me saying she was so sorry and wanted to fix things. But there are some betrayals you can't come back from, and a mother choosing her son's wife over her own flesh and blood, that was one of them. She had made her choice, and so had I. I never responded. I never looked back. She lost her son that night, just like Lisa lost her husband, and I never lost a damn thing. Now I live my life on my terms. I built my business back up, took trips I never thought I'd take, found happiness in the simple things, good food, late-night drives, real friends who actually gave a damn about me, and love, that would come in time. Because I knew one thing for certain, the next woman in my life would have to be nothing like Lisa, and I'd make damn sure of it. As I drove away from my old life for the last time, I rolled down the window and let the cool night air wash over me. No more anger, no more pain, just the sweet, quiet satisfaction of knowing that some people destroy themselves, and you don't have to lift a damn finger. The universe does it for you,